thanks for sharing all of this. It's been amazing. Like I'm taking notes, so it's really cool. And I think that one thing that unites us is how so interesting solution how interesting are the solutions are found in different contexts. So like with sonideros or sound systems, you name it. And I think this is quite important for paredões as well, because at least from my perspective, um, I see there's so many challenges when you start to build an idea of paredão, because first, mm, you you're working with components and elements that come from US, European, Japanese industrial complex. So you don't speak the language first, so you cannot read a guide. I was talking with an engineer that is an expert in Brazilian paredões a couple of weeks ago, and he told me there are basically two books that people use in Brazil, and it's not even a thing like to access it. So there's a lot of knowledge, as I said, like it's tacit knowledge, knowledge that is shared, knowledge that's not formalized. It's basically verbalized, and it's in some sort of ways like it's artisanal, but it's not artisanal either. It's an industrial thing, but it's not like Taylorist alienated type of industry. So I think this is quite remarkable to me. And it's not a thing that I see as less sophisticated. I think this is quite European Western type of gaze. They look at these sound systems, the Latin American sound system, as a wow, this is so cool, like so amazing how you've done this stuff. But it's not as you say in Brazil, it's not a gambiarra. It's not like you just plugging stuff and hope for the best. No, there's a lot of knowledge. There's a lot of vernacular engineer in some sort of way. So it's not just because it's not formalized in European and Western structures that it's not important. I think, and there are like two anecdotes that at least are more than anecdotes, are elements that prove in some sort of a this perspective that um, they connect this sound system. They connect in the way of making. I've been speaking with paredões experts in Brazil that have been they tell me they've been reached they over the past couple of years. There are people from India reaching out to them like, "Hi, speak English on WhatsApp," because they want to know how they do the paredões here, because they want to do that in Southeast Asia. That we all know it's a quite hub for sound system culture. People from different Caribbean island also reaching out to Brazilian people connecting with people from Paraguay in the border. Like they are also developing their own paredão culture. So and the other thing that I've learned that there are people from industries coming to meet with these guys, the paredões uh, uh, builders, so they can learn from them. Like JBL has been visiting garage, paredões garage. Like, how can we learn from you guys? They know already. They know they have there's gold in this knowledge. So I think this is there's a lot of challenge in the sense of creating new engineering solutions, but this is not something that is like a patchwork, a monster, a Frankenstein. Like as one would say, it's there's a lot of sophisticated knowledge in it, and I see how this connects throughout the content. I think this is what is most beautiful about it. So yeah.
I saw recently I noticed that the paredões in the northeast side of Brazil where I live, which is a more hot uh, region, people are using the subwoofers on the backside, like the backside of the subwoofers go to the front of the car. And I was like, why is that? So I talked with some engineers and they say, Felipe probably knows about it, but it's because of the heat. So for this just it's just an example of what he was talking about. Like there's the whole technical knowledge that is at the same time it's in between the craft and the like the industrial scale somehow. And this narrative of scarcity resilience is an idea Alida mentioned. It's an idea by Stephanie Alish, research Futuro, and it's interesting because what she's talking about is basically word music view with the racist bias of this electronic music from the ghettos, global ghettos, and all of that. And she criticized this as a narrative that is a condensing view about these music cultures. And I think she's right, but at the same time, what we were talking about, the dirty and noisy and the low technology, lo-fi and all of that can be, it is lots of time it's used by these guys with this kind of narrative. But if we go deep into these ideas for the artistic methodology of the producers or the engineers, in the case of Felipe's work, we can understand better what they are doing. So I think we can twist this narrative of scarcity resilience if we go to the process, to the methodologies of the artists and the engineers. So that's what I'm interested in. How they use this to inform, to create their own worldviews based on sound. So yeah, that's the idea. And dialogues with what I was saying previously about the idea of noise, the aesthetics of noise and dirty.